Tonight on News 5 Live, Omicron BA.2 is on the rise as the number of active infection increases to upper triple digits. The BNTU weighs in on the bullying of a primary school teacher whose social media post went viral on Monday. And Prime Minister John Briceño is in Guyana for CARICOM Agriculture Investment Forum. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
The premier name in voice and data, is also the country's leading provider of innovative services and solutions for small business and enterprise. At DigiBusiness, we offer solutions, tools, and applications to support your business needs. Reduce costs, improve efficiency, and excel in a changing world where no idea is too big and no task is too small. From technology advising to design implementation and management, our team of qualified solution sales and specialists can develop a reliable and robust infrastructure, allowing you to spend more time on what matters most, your business. Visit us online to explore how DigiBusiness innovative products and solutions can help your business reduce costs and improve efficiency.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, May 19th. I am Sabrina Daly. Belize is facing a new wave of COVID-19 infections and the ministry is stepping up its surveillance efforts. As of Wednesday evening, over 600 active COVID-19 cases were being reported. The Ministry of Health and Wellness confirmed today that the Omicron BA.2 subvariant is the most dominant strain in Belize at present. This was confirmed by way of a gene sequencing exercise in collaboration with Baylor University. In a release earlier today, the ministry noted that it is now increasing its surveillance measures in business and other public places in order to identify and isolate positive cases early, particularly in the Belize and Cayo districts where the infection rates are the highest. Dr. Diaz spoke with the media via Zoom earlier today.
We do have areas in the country that we're seeing more positive cases. Unlike other waves, it's very similar. The District of Belize has the highest number of positive cases, as well as the highest with regards to positivity rate as well. Followed behind by Cayo, and then the other districts, we're not seeing the number of positive cases that we did in the other waves. So we're focused primarily on the Belize district, looking at the significant number of positive cases coming out of the Belize district. The Ministry of Health and Wellness, we have now embarked on enhanced surveillance, and enhanced surveillance generally means that we're not sitting down waiting at the clinics for sick people to come in, but we've restarted to go back out into the community, into public places, into whoever calls us or any company that needs our help. We go in and we do what we call a sweep. We swab as many persons who would like to be swabbed. And this helps us. Enhanced surveillance always helps us to detect cases early. If we detect cases early, we isolate cases early. And of course, that helps with the containment of spread and the reduction of transmission of disease.
In less than 7 days, the National Agriculture and Trade Show grounds in Belmopan is expected to draw a multitude of visitors from across the country for 3 days of events. Lobster Fest is scheduled immediately after, followed by Carnival in September. According to Dr. Musa, no consideration is being given at this time to reinstate certain COVID-19 measures that have been relaxed. So social gatherings and public events are still being permitted as scheduled. Notwithstanding, Dr. Musa recommends that event planners carry out their activities in a responsible manner so as to sustain the health and economy of the country. She offered the following recommendations.
For event planners, our recommendation is outdoors, large spaces, limited crowds if possible, hand sanitizing, still have some measures in place that can control spread. We know that if you're outdoors, the spread is less likely than if you're in an air-conditioned room, and if the room is very tight and everybody's sitting very close together. Then we have seen in the past that almost 90% of persons in that environment get infected. Whereas if you had an outdoor something in your yard and there was a lot of space, tables were spaced out, the spread was not as much. Also, if you're in these areas, it's important to wear your mask over your nose and mouth. Talk to your friends and family that you're going to whichever event with. Is anybody sick? Is anybody at your home being isolated presently? Have you been in contact with anybody at your workplace that you're concerned that you have been exposed to? Then if the answer is yes, then don't go. Don't go to that function, So at this point, we've got to start to make the choices that we know will help to sustain the health of our country and our economy as well.
San Vicente residents now have safe, potable water to use. Dr. Diaz Musa confirmed that health inspectors visited the community and have given the all clear.
From what we know, the water has been cleaned. They've done everything that needs to be doing, including the wells and the reservoirs, and it is now safe again to use. And the Ministry of Health is also working with the Ministry of Rural Development as well. And our public health inspectors had gone to do the visit at the village and confirmed that the water is safe again. We're in discussions with regards to recommendations now so that something like this does not occur again.
One of the most important questions on the minds of Belizeans at this time has to do with the severity of the Omicron BA2 variant. To get some insight on this, we turn to Dr. Fernando Cuellar at the Belize Medical Associates, whom we spoke with via Zoom.
It's just to say that it's what is in tongue, so to speak, that is the newborn tongue, but it's pretty much following the same pattern of the Omicron virus, the first one, where we see it causing a lot of infection because it's highly transmissible. You could catch it easy and quick. But thankfully, and this is where the silver lining is, if there's any silver lining, is not leading to a lot of hospitalizations and deaths. But nevertheless, we still would see an increase in hospitalization, but not in the proportion that we used to see before. And of course, those people who have underlying conditions will also be at higher risk to be hospitalized and dying from this one because of the underlying. But I don't think it's any reason to panic. I think it's reason to have in our minds that we need to still take care of ourselves, that the COVID is not going anywhere, and more than likely not going anywhere soon. We'll always have it around us. Interestingly, the symptoms of this variant is different from the ones we came across last year and the year before, though. This one seemed to affect more the upper respiratory tract, give you more like a bad flu kind of thing, no? So you get congested and runny nose and sore throat and headache and joint pains, as opposed to developing shortness of breath and the lower respiratory tract involved. This one seems to affect more your upper respiratory tract. So, and I think we've learned to maneuver the whole workplace scenarios. I mean, if you get sick, you're calling, and I haven't seen any big controversies starting from any place of employment.
Dr. Cuellar also chimed in on the matter of public events. He too is not against these events being hosted. Dr. Cuellar is of the view that the economy must continue to reopen, as has been occurring over the past few months.
My thoughts and recommendation is more centered on the responsibility of the individual now, okay? You need to make sure that if you go to agriculture fair, you use your mask. If you go to a lobster fest, you use your mask. Even for carnival, and I'm sure you could be creative to have some pretty masks being worn, along with costumes and partying on the side of the street with masks on. I find, and I'm thinking that the masks are a very important tool to minimize, to lessen the spread. Okay, but yes, we need to continue with what we've been starting now, which is, as they would like to say, open up back full again. And I don't think that it makes any sense to even start discussing any lockdown. That's a backward move 10 times.
So should event planners begin to consider postponing or delaying their events until this wave subsides?
No, I think they can go ahead and plan, but they should also put in their plans and their procedures that they're going to do to use face masks, not encourage people from their point of view, no?
Dr. Cuellar also recommended that more Belizeans take advantage of vaccines and booster shots. While there is an expectation that COVID-19 cases will increase over the weeks to come, Dr. Cuellar says schools should continue with its face-to-face sessions. He further recommended adherence to measures like hand washing, social distancing, and face mask wearing.
We have to every day stress on the personal responsibilities of the hand washing, the distancing, the face masks, wearing, and using the vaccines and boosters as much as we can. No, no how I think, looking back on what we've learned from the past 2 years, I think any lockdown makes sense. So that we shouldn't even start a conversation about any lockdown. Let the kids continue at school, because we've been fairly good so far, no? And still expect, yes, that we have cases. And I will bet you, Paul, that we'll be talking about COVID in 2023 too. So it will not go away. We have to live with it. And hopefully protect ourselves by the vaccines and boosterings.
Coming up, financial literacy. We'll look at what one primary school in Belize City is doing to teach students about proper money management. Details when we return.
Maras, man, I can't stand these people. Lord, they only tired me.
What you say?
The hard is.
Where you come back in here?
They like turn easy thing into a lot of thing, and I don't like that. Make us start for the beginning. My granny Mary me died so years ago, and she gave each her kids different land titles for land we in her family long time. Now, out of 3 of the picnic there, only 2 are they do the right thing when the area get declared by the government of Belize and they can do their first registration and get the land certificate. Like Auntie Susan, she can get her land certificate and she may end up to get a loan for the bank where she apply for fix her see-through board house. She high house see-through because if you go underneath it and you look up, you can see through her floor and see zinc. Auntie? Quick thing with her title, she get the loan and she fix that. Done. And me Uncle Rudolph, he be able to put his parcel of land in his name during the first registration with the Lands Registry Department, and he be able to bail cousin Junior out of jail. Since he like the streets so much, Uncle Rudolph end up to get our job with Ministry of Works so he could fix streets instead of to get trouble upon there. You mean the street? Me run down the street. But the one where they stress me, that is one right off of my house. My ma, Miss Ruth. Ruth now I go get the land certificate and the papers in order because she said a lot of things. Even though it's so easy, even though it's so simple, but they always want to talk about how you want to sell the piece of land. It can't. She no got the proper papers. The thing no complicated. Once your area get declared, get your whole land title and go get your land certificate. Come on people, listen to me. Go check out where all you need. Visit the Ministry of Natural Resources Facebook page. No say I never tell you. Yeah, Miss Ruth.
St. Bite, Placentia, Hopkins. First registration mobile clinic is headed your way. Join us May 26th and 27th at the St. Bite Multipurpose Building on Main Road. From 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., have your land title updated into the new system. Brought to you by the Ministry of Natural Resources, Petroleum and Mining.
Who offers the best home internet experience? The truth is, Digi, of course. Diginet has the largest fiber network and the fastest speeds with the most reliable service. That's more learning, more earning, more gaming, more bonding, more sharing, getting more things done. And now, Diginet is even more affordable with the new entry plan, a 20 megabits per second fiber connection for just $49 monthly, and increased speeds in all plans. The truth is, only Digi has the ultimate home internet experience, with savings up to $270 when you bundle. Wireless and cable can't give you that. So what are you waiting for? Sign up or make the switch to DigiNet today to enjoy more speeds to get more done. Digi, our national telecom.
With RF&G Insurance, you can request a quote, renew a policy, purchase a policy, and even file a claim effortlessly with WhatsApp. Here's how. WhatsApp the words "Get Started" to 670-8700. We will prompt you to select the service that you are interested in. Select the service and answer a few simple questions. An RF&G representative will process your request and follow up with you when your transaction is completed. It's that easy. Skip lines and WhatsApp us. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
My name is Wilmer De La Rosa from Santa Elena Town. I am currently a student at Cayo, set for employment training. Enrolled in the electrical installation program In late July 2021, I got a confirmation that I was a successful applicant and would be granted a scholarship from Social Security Board. It was one of the proudest moments for me. I felt very excited to start this new path in my life. So far on my journey as a Social Security Board scholar, my vocational technical scholarship has assisted me in achieving my life goals in so many ways. For one, it has renewed sense of purpose, another chance at professional development, and a start at a new career. This opportunity has paved the way for me to excel in life as an individual and as a member of society. Great things are coming after I graduate from SET. I can promise you that. Applying for a vocational technical scholarship through the Social Security Board is simple and easy. I would advise young people in need to apply. It is possible to create a fulfilling and fruitful life with a Social Security scholarship. Believe in yourself and your abilities and skills. I always say the key is to always keep an open mind and let your determination be your motivation.
Hard on the heels of a statement issued by the Belize National Teachers Union on Wednesday, a press conference was held this morning to address the issue involving Joanna Isigeri. She is the primary school teacher from St. Luke Methodist who went viral earlier this week when she posted a live testimony of an ordeal she was experiencing with the administration and management of that institution. The emotional account of what has been taking place under the headship of the principal has raised the ire of many. And today, BNTU President Senator Elena Smith shared her initial reaction to what she saw on Monday night.
The teacher couldn't take anymore, and I guess that was her way of venting, releasing some of what she was experiencing. One of pain, because we understand fully that our teachers do go through these things, and many of them do so, but they say nothing. And that may be for fear of losing a job, for any other repercussions that might come with them speaking out. So I mean, it was really and truly a painful testimony to listen to. Really and truly painful. I after listening to that, I cried with her. I mean, you actually shed tears with that teacher just to hear, because you know that it's the truth. Unfortunately, it's the truth that many people try to hide.
The issue of the lunch hour. Teachers are entitled to an hour lunch period. And within that lunch period, they should be able to do whatever they feel they need to do for that time. The management, however, or the administration can ask the teacher. And this is a discussion I had with the principal and vice principal at the onset of this issue, that if you are going to infringe on a teacher's time, you have to get that teacher's permission. You have to get that buy-in. And these teachers were only getting correspondences telling them that this is the new norm for them. And so I tried to get both principal and vice principal to have a sit down with the teachers. Ask me for my time. Don't just take my time away from me because you're taking away my rightful time.
According to General Secretary Keisha Smith, the teacher was well within her right to seek the counsel of an attorney to guide her on the steps that needed to be taken in respect of restroom usage and her lunch break.
The issue of the restroom, yes, that was shared with me as well, that the administration was saying that they needed to call because they can't leave the kids unattended, especially during this COVID time. So again, that was another issue that I had a discussion with both principal and vice principal about, that you cannot be requiring a teacher to call the office to go to the restroom. It's ridiculous.
So that being said then, would we agree that perhaps the teacher was well within her right to seek outside counsel as to what the next step would be for her?
Definitely so. All teachers do. I mean, in whatever issue that they experience at school, they can ask for assistance, they can call their union, they have a right to address even with a correspondence. If you are writing me a letter telling me X, Y, and Z, I have a right to respond, and I have a right to ask that that be put on record. So she was well within her rights.
The BNTU has pledged to work closely with the management of the Methodist schools to get to the bottom of the situation. Senator Smith says that if the zero-tolerance policy should be implemented against bullying, it should begin with enforcement from the Ministry of Education.
Bishop, as you all know, gave an interview, and the bishop has informed that they will be conducting their internal investigation, and we will be liaising with him and his team at the end of their investigation to see what it is that we would be able to assist with as a union. Because at the end of the day, what must be understood is that these teachers have a right to come to their union. They don't have to go to their managements first. So if it is that we are truly serious about stopping, bringing an end to this intimidation, to this bullying, to this abuse of power that some management and administrators have over their teachers, then we will see that the ministry will seriously look at dealing with these persons. I must say, as we've always said before, we are not generalizing. That's why we're saying some, because we do have some very good principals and we have some good managements.
After the break, ground is broken for the upgrade of the Nago Bank Road. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
Belizeans deserve a fast, dependable, high-quality internet service in their homes for online, virtual classes, and to work from home. It's the new way of life. Diginet is the #1 fiber service that is powering Belize's digital transformation. And now, this reliable fiber service is even more affordable with our new entry plan. For a limited time only, you and your family can enjoy 20 megabits per second of fiber service to your home for only $49 monthly. No more missed classes and interrupted meetings. It's costing you time and money. Diginet is better than cable and better than wireless. Visit a Digistore today to sign up for the best home internet service in Belize. Come see what you've been missing. Same high quality, fast, and reliable fiber service, now at an even lower price. For more information, visit livedigi.com/Diginet. Digi, our national telecom.
This May will be amazing at Benny's. Get amazing deals and great gifts from Mom. We have Pyrex bakeware, Chicago cutlery knife sets, Corningware, Snapware, and the elegant yet durable Coral dinnerware sets at amazing prices. Check out our impressive line of Sankey appliances and much, much more. Take advantage of these amazing deals all May long, only at Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
My name is Natalie and I'm a working mom with 2 small children. Before I got pregnant, there were never any issues about my performance at work. However, when I did get pregnant, the way I was treated made me feel that I wasn't welcome anymore in the workplace. And so I decided to resign for my health and for the health of my baby. By the time my husband and I decided to have a second child, I was working at a company that had policies that accommodate women who are pregnant and nursing mothers. For example, we would get time off to nurse our children I feel lucky to be working for a company that does not discriminate against pregnant women or nursing mothers. I believe that all women in Belize deserve that right. And at the end of the day, we're all Belizeans and we should all be treated with respect.
It's almost lunchtime and Alice is getting hungry and forgot to bring cash. She remembers that eCash now has a geolocation feature in which she can easily view the eCash merchants near her, especially restaurants. Her co-workers also ask her to order food for them.
Chicken chow mein, please, and a Coke.
The merchant sends her the payment link. She taps confirm, and within a few minutes, her food is delivered. Alice then views her transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made. Then taps the split the bill button where she selects the unevenly option and moves the bar to the desired amount per person. The request is then sent to her friends. Her colleagues accept the request and are ready to enjoy their meals. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash make Alice's life a whole lot easier.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Minister of Blue Economy and Civil Aviation, Andre Perez, has been meeting with fishing communities across the country to hear their concerns on the new Fisheries Act amendment, which seeks to increase the size of lobster catch permitted to 4.5 ounces. From the first few consultations held, several decisions have been taken. The time allotted for fishermen to set traps have been extended from 10 to 15 days. The proposal to adjust the gap on the lobster trap is now shelved until next year. Additionally, the time span for the lobster season has been amended. But there is still some work to do because as it appears, fisherfolk are still not pleased with the increase in the permitted catch size. Minister Perez was a guest on Open Your Eyes this morning where he explained the need for the amendments.
First of all, it's not a new regulation. That's the first thing. That has been in place since 2009 and signed by the previous administration. But it's not about whether it was signed before or from a different administration. Once it is vetted through the Fisheries Department and we look at it, then it is a good regulation. It is being studied and we have to also let the people know that this is binding, that we have to be harmonized with the region, not only Central America but the Caribbean, because we are a member of OSPESCA from SICA, which includes Dominican Republic, and of course we are part of the CRFM, the Caribbean Regional Fishing Mechanism. So we need to be harmonized. These are binding, and for so many years it has been, let's put it over, let's another year, another year. And also lacking political will as well, that who wants to take the bull by the horns, it must be done.
Or who wants to face the backlash.
Exactly, and that is what yours truly is here sitting, facing the backlash. And we're clearing it. And we had a very fruitful meeting in Kikaker. It was very robust, our people there, and I know my people there were very passionate about what they do. But in the end, in the spirit of compromise, we were able to clear out and come out and have, sometimes we cannot agree, we agree to disagree, and certain things we can make changes. As the minister, I'm able to make some amendments in terms of the time that they will set in the lobster traps, because there's a date as well when you can set those lobster traps in the water before July 1st, that the season opens, and it calls for 10 days. Yeah. But they justified and gave us information. They are the ones on the ground. They are the experts. They know the fishing, how it works, and we recognize that and we respect that. So we were able to make that amendment, say, okay, instead of 10, let's do 15 days. In terms of the escape gap, there's an escape gap on the
space in the trap.
Right, in which there are certain lobsters maybe can get out. We were proposing to make it a little bit bigger. It caused a stir. So we looked at it and said, we're willing to, let's put that on hold. Let's see what happens in the next year. But certainly the amount that is important is the weight, the 4.5 ounces, that stands.
Minister Paris is scheduled to meet with residents in Sartaneja village on Friday. When he was asked if he is confident that he will get the buy-in of Sartaneja residents, Minister Paris suggested that there are some political motives at play among protesters in the community. But according to the Minister of Blue Economy, he will seek to show the fisherfolk that he is only there to protect their livelihoods.
The way how we're doing right now, the information that we're sharing, we've been on the media outlets. It is clear also, and people are beginning to see, and especially in Kikaker, that there is also another motive behind it. There's a political motive. I'm not talking about political parties, it's about the hustling and jostling of powers, who sits where in these committees in the COPs as well. And then, of course, they were coming into the village council elections. There are different kind of movements that are occurring. But my job is to make sure that that is not mixed up with the serious work that we have to do in the blue economy and the fisheries department. And in the end, that is what we will show our fisher folks, that we are here to protect them. We are here to protect their livelihoods, the industry, and just surely I remain committed to working with them. It's beautiful to be out there. It's beautiful to be out there fishing. I recognize that. I have visited these, especially the people from Sardinia. I've made trips all the way down south to climb on one of these boats and see how they fish, how they live, how they eat. And it's very much, I respect them for that. My hats off to see hands-on right there.
The first project under the Resilient Rural Belize program of the Ministry of Economic Development will see a 3-mile stretch of road in rural Belize district upgraded to be climate resilient and to better connect agro-producers who supply the entire country. $1.7 million will be invested for the upgrade. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Today, ground was broken in the Naga Bank community off the Maskell Road, where 3 miles of dirt road will be upgraded for ease of access to agricultural produce from 22 farmers in the area. These farmers are known to provide majority of the vegetables and fruits for the Belize district.
Lo que producimos es cebolla, plátano, sandía, melón, pepino, habanero.
Here we produce onions, bananas, watermelon, melon, cucumber, habaneros. We have tomatoes, sweet peppers, and yes, spinach, basils, and we have lettuce. Most vegetables are grown here in Nagabank. We have a lot of merchandise, and we're growing, and we also have trees like avocados. We have mangoes and coconut and lemon. We are already starting to produce all these fruits.
This is super important. I mean, this is a area, the entire Maskell area is rich soil. It's excellent for farming, and getting this road work into this area is not only encouraging for the people of Nagobank, but people from the area is seeing that work is being done in the area, you know, and it's especially for farmers, because we want to push the farmers.
The upgrade of the road comes at the tune of $1.7 million and is expected to be completed within 6 months, 3 months to get the road fixed, and another 3 months for monitoring purposes.
Today is a historical moment for RRB and the Ministry of Economic Development, and we have to say thank you to the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing and the Ministry of Agriculture. This is the first project that will be implemented through RRB, and we have to remember that that project was signed back in 2018, and we were about to lose, you know, this project, which is a total of $40 million. No, finally, you know, the small agro producers are starting to enjoy the benefits of this project. This road will definitely contribute highly to Belize, to this sector in terms of reducing poverty, at the same time creating jobs, but more important is to increase their wealth, because now they will have a proper road where they will be able to mobilize their products independently, whether we are in dry season or rainy season.
CEO in the Ministry of Agriculture, Serval Abizer, speaks of how the infrastructure work translates into the development of the agriculture industry.
I mean, it certainly helps tremendously in terms of access for these farmers, access to their farms, access to the buyers. You used to have problems for people to come and buy their products. But now with the improvement of the road, that should alleviate that tremendously. All their inputs, everything that is needed for them to be able to produce. And I must say, I really have to say that these are some of the most productive farmers that we have in the entire country. The Belize district as a whole, this particular area, both here, Nagobank, Mascal, Bomba, are some of the bigger producers and some of our very good producers now of onions, tomatoes, cucumbers, watermelon. So they quite have a wide range of production here in this area. So it helps them to access the markets, and it certainly helps them also to bring in their inputs, what they need to produce.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
As you heard, the Nago Bank Road is the first of several projects under the Resilient Rural Belize program of the Ministry of Economic Development. It's a multi-ministerial approach that looks at not only climate-resilient infrastructure being put in place, but also improving the lives of agro-producing communities across the country. Areas in the north, west, and south are next in line to see millions of dollars in upgrades to access roads.
There's so much work that needs to be done. I can add, though, that right now we're working in this area here in Nagobank. After this, we have Valley of Peace. There are some roads in Valley of Peace, and there's also the roads for San Carlos in our church that we'll be working on. So those are the three main areas we're working on this year.
Have the Valley of Peace in the west, also San Antonio farmers, both in the west. Then we have San Roman in the southern part of the country, the Copen habanero farmers. They are actually the ones who produce the habanero for Mary Sharp, so their product is all around the world. And Trio farmers, and then San Jose all the way in Toledo.
So by when can we see these come on stream?
We will see a few coming this year, but we are planning to complete all those projects within a 3 years period.
Financial literacy is defined as the ability to understand and use various financial skills, including personal financial management, budgeting, and investing. At the primary school level, there are basic financial skills that can be taught to children to build and establish a foundation. These lessons include, but are not limited to, saving, borrowing, and even developing a basic business plan. Over the course of the past few days, students at Queen's Square Primary School have been engaged in a financial literacy and entrepreneurship course. These courses are being hosted by the Miami Herbert Business School, a department of the University of Miami, and the Peace Work Organization. News 5's Paul Lopez stopped in today to find out more about what the students have been learning.
I created Joe's Funeral Home for the fact that I am interested in a funeral home from last year when I heard about the Jenkins Funeral Home and how they're blooming so fast.
You heard right. 13-year-old Standard 6 student Shanae Fuller aspires to become a funeral home director. It may sound like an unusual aspiration for a primary school student, but Fuller says she was inspired in this pursuit by her sister and her mother.
I was interested in it, and my older sister and my mother, they planned to open a funeral home, but since COVID hit really bad, they didn't have to plan it like how COVID had a lot of debts. So that was one of the most booming jobs in Belize, and that is what inspired me to open a funeral home.
Now, with the help of students from the University of Miami and the Peace Work Organization, Fuller and her classmates are learning what it takes to start up and run a business.
We are here on a project to help students in this school with financial literacy, and along with other of my friends here, we're going through a handbook that we made that revolves different areas of financial literacy, such as spending, saving, budgeting, how to open a business, how to grow your business. And today we are talking about self-confidence and self-esteem and leadership, because I think those are some of the key qualities that will help these students as they go into high school and beyond.
Financial literacy courses are often lacking in the primary school curriculum. Rarely are children taught in school the importance of saving, investing, and building businesses at this level. This financial literacy and entrepreneurship course is geared towards bridging that gap by giving students like Shanae Fuller a head start in pursuing her dream.
Yesterday we focused a lot on entrepreneurship in terms of how to think of your idea, how to develop your idea, in terms of what your market is, what the competition is, what are different ways that you can tell people about your product by advertising, other marketing strategies, and also how to get funding for your business. I think one of the key issues that students and any aspiring entrepreneur faces is to get funding. The day before, we talked about three major things: saving, borrowing, and budgeting. I think these are some of the principles that form the foundation of financial literacy, and I think for these kids to learn these basic rules will help them a lot.
I learned about saving and budgeting my money, and if you want to be an entrepreneur, don't have people take advantage of you.
I like them because it teaches you about budgeting and how to save your money and spending it wisely, and that the difference about debit cards and credit cards is that debit cards are the money that you put into the bank that is out of your own pockets, and the credit cards are from the bank that you're borrowing, but you have to pay it back.
Like her classmates, Shanae also learned these invaluable principles of business. She now has a business model for Joe's Funeral Home that she intends to implement when she finishes her high school studies in business.
My service I wanted to offer to my customers is promotions and great deals. My promotions is 30% off and 40%. By having promotions, it brings in customers, especially with their grieving. And at my funeral home, at Joe's Funeral Home, we comfort people at the grieving of their loved ones. Comfort is a huge part for me because having comfort is everything. You don't want to be harsh to your customers when they're already going through a hard time. Also, my business, when my business starts blooming, I want to help college students with their college tuition, especially students that are smart and don't have both parents or have one parent that cannot provide for them financially.
The course comes to an end on Friday. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
When we return, a preview of this weekend's National Agriculture and Trade Show. But first, here is a weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
It's almost Mother's Day, and what better way to celebrate than with an awesome gift for your lovely mom from Samsung. Show your mom some love. Treat her to a Samsung A-series device. The affordable lineup includes the Galaxy A03 Core, A03s, A12, A22, A32, A52s, S20 FE, S21 FE, Galaxy Buds 2, and even the Tab A7 Lite and Tab A7 LTE. Every Galaxy purchase from an authorized reseller comes with a 1-year local warranty that will make mom love that Galaxy even longer. So head over to any of Samsung's official partners, including Cellular World, Digi, Odette's Home Center, Dibari, and Westrap, and show your mom how awesome she is this Mother's Day with a Samsung A-series phone or tablet.
Reusable plastics. Did you know that until we find an alternative for plastic and all its uses, we will continue to need plastics, such as in the health sector? Plastic becomes a huge problem for Belize when it becomes waste and is improperly disposed of. When it is thrown on the side of the road and in our rivers and seas, it's eaten by animals and in turn by people, and it becomes an environmental and health issue. It costs us money for disposal, filling up dumps and landfills, and paying for associated healthcare. So what can you do? Choose to refuse single-use plastics is step 1. Step 2, instead, use the plastics that were meant to be reused, like coffee cups, water bottles, and food containers. We're not talking about buying a $1 bottle of water. I mean, you can, but how long will that last you? Reusable plastics keep plastics out of the environment for a much longer time and are even better than other forms of plastics like biodegradable or even compostable or bio-based plastics. By reusing, you are also saving money since you aren't rebuying the same thing over again. Think about it. How many bottles of water do you buy every week? How much does that cost compared to the cost of a reusable bottle? Imagine what you can do with the extra money. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
A lot of times when we talk agriculture, we probably do not think there's much more to it than planting and harvesting crops. But today, the Ministry of Agriculture and its Costa Rican counterparts sat down with youth from rural communities to strategize how they can explore possibilities which they can earn an income from. We stopped in at the ministry's conference room to find out more. Coordinator of the ministry's National Food and Nutrition Securities Commission, Emilio Montero, explained that there's a world of opportunities the youth can consider.
There is a regional strategy for rural youth with activities and objectives and outputs. So we now need to work on engaging, on developing a rural youth policy for Belize. We do have a draft national youth policy within the Ministry of Youth. So it's about aligning the activities and the objectives there with what's happening regionally. And in doing so, we would be able to access resources, be it in the form of human and financial resources, capacity building and trainings. And that's the opportunity that's happening in the workshop today.
Okay, but when we think agriculture, we think about planting, farming, reaping, harvesting, whatever the case may be. So are these youths farmers, and how does this training translate into how they carry forward?
Yeah, very good question. I was very surprised to see that the 12 youths that were invited by the organization are coming from farming communities, actually from established cooperatives that exist within the country. There's a stigma that agriculture is hard work, it's dirty work, it's for the non-academic youths, and our parents would say, oh, you're good for nothing, go do agriculture, I will send you to Mopantec or BHSA or Julian Cho. And no, it's not about that. So the strategy here is using agriculture as a platform. Not necessarily do you need to go and do the dirty work, but you can become an irrigation technician, a climate smart agriculture technician, specialist in insects and pesticides. So there are the different trades and expertise. So agriculture would just of harvesting and planting is just one component, but it's looking at even adding value added to the excess tomato, for example, and doing your own salsa casera.
But while the conversation is just being had, the Costa Rican representative who led the session, Alexander Herrera, says it is time to put into action what has been discussed.
Right now is the moment of giving opportunities to rural youth from the institutions and to make this bridge in the more clear way between rural youth and institutions, because there are services that sometimes are not very addressed to the young people. And Belize in this way is one country which is interested in this integration of the rural youth in the agenda. It's also one of the 8 countries that are part of this regional strategy. So for us, it's really important to collect the information, to collect the inputs from the rural youth, but also from the institutions, in order to get a really good proposal for this strategy, which will be from this year to the year 2030.
The National Agriculture and Trade Show takes place from May 27th to the 29th at the showgrounds in Belmopan. Thousands of people are expected to converge in the capital for this event, since it has been put on hold for the past 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. News 5 spoke earlier today with CEO Servilo Baiza of the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, who says that they are expecting it to be a bang.
There was tremendous pressure on us for this year for us to put on the show. As you may know, the show is normally early in May. We had to push it back to the end of May so that we have more time, because we had to be working, we had to be looking at in terms of the pandemic, how it was going, whether it was if we were going to be able to have a show. We didn't know what would be the protocols, regulations, coming in. But as soon as we saw that the COVID cases started to fall, we saw that the regulations started to be removed. People were saying, we can do this now. We met with the team and they said, they felt that we could get organized and put on a good show. So the NATS committee was quickly convened and they started planning. And now we have the agriculture show at the end of this month.
So people can expect everything.
Everything. It's gonna be almost, I would say, back to normal. And in fact, I have to quote my minister. It will be bigger and better than ever, he says. So we're going all out. I think there's a huge expectation. I am sure that all the parties involved, the Ministry of Agriculture, all my staff, all the hard work they're putting in, the stakeholders out there and the stakeholders out there, the business community, everyone is so excited. Belmopan, as it is, I think is very excited about the Agriculture Trade Show coming back. And I'm sure that we're going to have a grand show.
The Bureau of Standards is called upon from time to time when people make complaints against businesses that sell food items and other commodities. Many times, however, the complaints do not fall within the ambit of what the Bureau is mandated to carry out. So while they celebrate their 30th anniversary this week, they invited the media to a session to share what they are responsible for. Marian Ali was at the session and filed the following report.
With its own laboratory unit, the Belize Bureau of Standards is now poised to advance its services beyond the public sector. This national standards body, which is responsible for promoting efficiency and competitive production in goods and services, now wants to tap into the private sector to offer its services.
A lot of what we do is going out in the market and ensuring that we can verify instruments, measuring devices, checking on net content in the stores for prepackaged goods, checking pumps, and verifying instruments in industry for the sugar, flour, shrimp industry. We have now extended that to the airlines. So there's a lot of work that we've been doing here. So most of what we've been doing is focused on this side. But over the last couple of years, we're trying to invest more of our energies in trying to serve the private sector so that the Bureau can offer, for example, meteorological services. That's why we have the laboratories right now to be able to provide calibration services to the private sector.
Director Jose Trejo says that they will present a national quality policy to Cabinet next week, which he says is one that can apply to every sector of Belize's national development.
If you talk about environmental policy, there are standards and quality. If you talk about industrial policy, there are standards and quality. If you talk about of tourism, there are standards and quality, agriculture. So the point is, the common denominator to advance a sector or to ensure that we take care of the national needs from a societal end and from an environmental end or from an economical end, standards and quality is embedded in them. So when I say or when we say embed quality infrastructure, is to ensure that this quality infrastructure is serving every single sector of our national economy.
The Bureau is also seeking to get its lab accredited and certified so that it can be a reference lab in the Caribbean, Trejo said. But aside from this, the unit will now move to develop new standards for common commodities. And in terms of metrology, the Bureau is upgrading its unit that deals with how mass is measured and promotes frequent calibration of instruments to ensure proper measurements. But how does Belize ensure that we are receiving the correct quantity of products we pay for at the stores? Trejo says only when the consumer protection laws come into play will the Bureau's standards be more effective.
There is this absolute need as well for the consumer protection laws to be put in place because it forces the hand to get every single entity involved to help protect the consumer. But the Bureau, within its scope of its responsibility, can only go so far in helping to protect the consumer. I think the overarching thing is to insist on that. We're not seeing that. There's the bill there. I think we have to, again, this is for all of us. So this conversation is for you to have with your colleagues in the media and for you to have with friends and family, or when you have an opportunity to interview somebody very important, to ask that question, why is it that we haven't had it? When are we going to have it? Because that's where we need to go.
One of the things that the Bureau has prescribed since 2019 is for the importation of fuel with low quantity sulfur only to protect the engines of the newer vehicles that are imported, and this has been the only type of fuel that has been imported. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Just ahead, Prime Minister John Bersenio is in Guyana for CARICOM Agriculture Investment Forum. Details when we return.
We live in a world obsessed with the latest trends, fashions, and lifestyles, setting unrealistic expectations and wanting to alter everything about ourselves. How is this affecting our self-worth? What if we were able to silence all the noise and focus on what really matters? Join us right here for Sagebrush Church as we begin our new series, Identity Theft, where we will discuss how to live in a world with ever-changing standards of perfection.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
National Agriculture and Trade Show is back. Visit the Next Gen booth for exclusive deals and discount on our Next Gen service bundles, high-speed internet, and more. Come experience a cinema setup and watch the Champions League finals on a big screen. We're bringing you great service and entertainment to the 2022 showgrounds. We'll see you there. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Every day, we access energy for cooling, lighting, and powering our electrical appliances and devices at work and at home. During cooler months, we rely less on cooling appliances such as fans and air conditioners. However, during warmer months, as the temperature and humidity rises, we use more energy to cool our spaces, and our appliances and electrical devices work harder than they do during the rest of the year. When the months become hotter, let's all practice energy conservation. Here are a few changes that you can make to manage your energy use. Check that all appliances and electrical devices are working efficiently. Turn lights off when not in the room. Unplug chargers, appliances when not in use. Turn off fans and TVs. Use energy-saving light bulbs such as LEDs. And look for the Energy Star products when purchasing appliances and electrical devices. These easy changes can reduce energy use and costs. You can also monitor your energy use during the month by reading your meter and calculating the reading using BEL's bill calculator on our mobile app or by visiting our website. Let's all save energy.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Over the weekend, the lucky winners of Phoenix Boutique's Mother's Day Experience Makeover were selected. Tonight, we follow the first place winner as she gets that makeover and find out about the exciting news of a new location out west. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Logan. Meet Denise Logan. She's the lucky winner of Phoenix Boutique's Mother's Day Experience and Makeover.
I am still excited, still overjoyed. Like, I cannot believe that I actually won a giveaway this big to that, you know. It's very amazing to see that I participated in something like this. You know, it's not something that is usually done here in Belize, these grand giveaways. You know, you would see it on other websites when you browse the media, but to see this type of giveaway here in Belize, I was very excited to it. I still am overjoyed, actually. It's been a while since I've did something for myself, you know, or actually taken care of myself after becoming a mom. So this is wonderful. Like I tell you, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful opportunity for me.
For the lucky 3 winners, they all got an opportunity to work with image consultant Angeles Pat, who has been working closely with Phoenix Boutique.
Allowing that experience or allowing that connection with our clientele is very important, because yes, we all like fashion, we like dressing up, but we need to understand body types, color palettes, and there's so much more that goes into creating like capsules and all these things for day-to-day looks. And so what it is that we provide to our clientele, 1 is creating that bond with them, 2 is teaching them, especially if they want to come in and they want to book an appointment with me, to have an entire image consultation, which is if they're going for an appointment or somewhere, or if they have an interview or whatever it may be, and that's when I step in and not only dress them but prep them for whatever journey they're about to embark on.
Phoenix Boutique is located on Mercy Lane and provides that unique shopping experience for those looking for specific U.S. brands. But not only that, Marketing and PR Officer Jacqueline Hernandez says that they are also a hub for Belizean brands such as Shail.
Even though we've only been home here on Mercy Lane for a little bit, we're very excited that we were able to bring fashion at a different level to the country. We have name brands that weren't offered before in the country, and now that we've done that, we've seen that people would stop having to order online. It's easier for them to do that. It's easier for them to come to find the item to ensure that it fits properly, and they don't have to go through all the additional expense and headache of shipping and having somebody maybe trick them into getting the stuff here when we already have it here and they actually get the experience. We have other Belizean branded items that don't have a store, and what we did was we opened our doors to them. We have Meraki jewelry, we have Candles by Kay, which has been a signature candle making little company that started out like we had shared before, just from their home, and now they actually have a local where they can sell from. We have so it's Meraki, we have Candles by Kay, Baby Earth, who's very, very popular as well, and also with the same concept.
And there's exciting news. A branch of Phoenix Boutique is coming to San Ignacio.
It's a big deal for us because, like I said, we only opened late last year, but the overwhelming support that we've received is just amazing, and it's so gratifying to see that our Belizean public have been able to enjoy and actually capture the essence of what we wanted to bring here. So the demand was from the people that came from the West area. Everywhere else supports us. Big up to every other district, but Kaya has been demanding that we create a corner for them. And that is exactly what we did. We didn't only create a corner, we actually created a home, the Phoenix Boutique Kaya.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Prime Minister John Briceño is currently in Georgetown, Guyana for the CARICOM Agri-Investment Forum and Expo, which is being held today through to Saturday. It is being held under the theme Investing in Vision 25 by 2025. During the forum, the region's ability to ensure food security despite issues of the COVID-19 pandemic, climate change, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and disruptions in the global supply chain was discussed. Today, PM Briceño was among the CARICOM leaders who spoke at the forum. The PM spoke about breaking down trade barriers within the region. Here's an excerpt from his speech.
As a CARICOM region, we must do better to remove those technical barriers to trade that most of us impose on each other. Let us instead use our efforts and energies to adopt policies to support the growth of the agro-productive sector, improve market facilitation, and develop intra-regional transportation. It is, in effect, a plan which intends to see our region reduce its dependency on food imports and products by 25% over the next 3.5 years. To do this, we, the member states that make up CARICOM, will have to work with our agro-producers to foster accelerated and targeted investment in food production. During our last CARICOM heads of government meeting, we acknowledged that our agri-food sector accounts for more than 20% employment in the region. Like Belize, Guyana is blessed with abundant agricultural land and are people able and capable of tilling the fertile soil. This is why we are so excited about the leadership role President Ali is playing as the lead for agriculture and food security.
The Prime Minister is accompanied by Minister of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, Jose Abelardo Mai, and Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Stuart Leslie. Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Immigration, Raymond Cervantes, also gave an address at the United Nations First International Migration Review Forum. During his speech, Cervantes says that Belize continues to engage in local, national, regional, and global initiatives to address immigration through implementation of the Global Compact for safe, orderly, and regular migration. Here's an excerpt of his speech.
Belize has been guided by the 23 objectives of the GCM in managing migration at the local and national levels, which exponentially relates to the regional and global levels. We have been working to reduce the risks and vulnerabilities that migrants face by respecting, protecting, and fulfilling their human rights, and by providing them with assistance. The plethora of GCM-related policy instruments and best practices utilized by Belize spans across various government ministries in partnership with our international, regional, and local organizations. Madam President, in 2021, Belize implemented and commenced several initiatives, including the following. Belize implemented a migrant worker protocol. Belize facilitated the regularization of irregular migrants whose immigration status had become irregular during border closure due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Belize waived the fees for 19 months of payments to upgrade their status. We participated in several community outreach initiatives countrywide through the Ministry of Immigration with the International Organization for Migration. We continued with the digitization project with the International Organization for Migration. We embarked in the implementation of the new e-passport system, the electronic passport issuance and control system, which we will launch in October of this year. Special work permits were issued to asylum seekers. We expanded a 2-year project with the United Nations High Commission for Refugees.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.